to be the athlete that retires and gains weight. I'm going to be the athlete that makes sure that my lifestyle is good and that I take care of myself. So in the morning is first thing, as praying, training. After I train, it's into meetings. Sometimes it's traveling. I'm in meetings the whole day. Sometimes we go out to shoots. We do that, and like I said, that's my day to day. And like I said, it's been busy, productive. I try and keep my days productive as well, and try and get outside, meet people. I think that's maybe something that as a player I was very isolated. I would train, come home, but now I'm starting to see the importance behind getting outside, traveling, meeting new people, and essentially networking and building relationships with people. Look, with this kind of business, we're a service-based business, so we provide services to athletes and creators everywhere. You understand, our business model works for us. At the end of the day, we have a team, all right? We also have equipment, so in terms of our cameras, our setup, all of that, everything is good, you understand. We have a team. The team, luckily I'm blessed with the most talented guys. You can look at Tsakani here as well, he's talented as well. So I have a team. The creative is all taken care of. On my side, my personal side, I make sure I manage our relationships, I manage the client expectations. But like I said, when it comes down to starting any business, you have to put skin in the game. You understand? You need to take a risk on yourself. The beautiful thing is that I invested in things years ago, whether that was equipment, whether that was any kinds of things. And for me, we started with what we have. And like I said, we're still building now, and hopefully we can take it to the next level when it comes down to investment, capital, and those kind of things. So there are things on the cards, and we're really hoping that over the next 12 months we can take the business to the international level that it deserves, and as a result, getting our South African athletes to be elevated commercially, international as well. Yeah. Look, a leadership role in anything comes with responsibility. I always say football teaches you so much. Football is a game of life. People say this, it's a beautiful game. Sometimes in this country a bit ugly, but it teaches you life, right? So whether that's taking a leadership role on the pitch, that teaches you how to lead a team on other things, you understand. And yes, I've got teams based all over. Like I said, we've got clients that we take care of overseas in Europe. We've got guys that we take care of in the US as well. So those guys they work on an extended basis with us, so project by project basis. Here in South Africa, we've got a solid team this side. We've got a team of 6 or 7 guys that we work with. Like I said, with the work that we're doing right now, most of it is project by project basis. We have athletes that we also take care of on the long term as well, which we assign one of our team members to take care of them. But like I said, the responsibility, it comes with pressure. But like I said, once you play football, you understand pressure on another level. These things are a blessing. I always say pressure is a privilege, man. It's a privilege to be here, because for where we come from, the things we did, the opportunities that we have now, we have to be grateful for, because life could have turned out very different if other decisions were made years ago, so I'm blessed to be in a position that I am in right now. And like I said, from where we come from to be in the position that we are now, yeah, we're blessed, brother. I think if I have to go back and play, definitely an international, opportunity would be better for me. I understand the realities of not playing for 3 years. You're not going to walk into a top flight team overseas. You understand? You're not even going to walk into a second tier team overseas. But for me, if I have to go back and play, it would be, somewhere else. So look, after leaving Sundowns, I went to Pretoria Callies with an NFT, in an NFT setup. I was there for 3 months. I unfortunately didn't get signed with them. I think there were some issues around I don't know what, the chairman came, and sometimes these South African clubs, when you try to get explanations as to why certain things are the way they are, training well, performing well, there was coaching changes. I think Kopo came in at that time at Callies, and I was told, look, we'll call you at this date or whatever, and I just never received the call. You understand? After that, I pursued things with my agent at the time, Mike McCabe. He helped me for a year after that, and I'll be honest, Mike gave me some advice about playing in this country, and that's why my perspective has shifted. Mike spoke to me and he told me, Tris, I want you to focus on something outside of football, and that was his advice to me. He said he wanted me to focus on something outside of football in this country, in this country. So I sat with him and I understood his perspective. You understand? He spoke to me. Look, Mike, I have so much respect for Mike because he's seen players, he's helped players, he's been in the game. He understands what happens when you're 27 without a club. And he also understands the brutal reality of having to look for a club. Also understands the dynamics of signing a player to a club in this country. So look, I took his advice, and I would say maybe for the last 3 years, especially looking at him as a mentor, taking his advice was good for me because I've been able to build something outside of football and grow into something and bring in income for myself as well. But yeah, like I said, returning to your original question, if an opportunity does come, I am ready. Like I said, maybe it's a part of me that just enjoys football and loves football. All right, but I would rather have that be something outside than to return to play. Football. Football is a big part of my life, and maybe it's just the love of football that's wanting me to still see if there is an opportunity. Right now I am speaking to a few people overseas. There are a few independent agents that have reached out to me. I'm not contracted to any agent at the moment, so that's essentially who I'm speaking to overseas. Essentially, some independent guys overseas that have presented some opportunities for me. But we'll see if those opportunities come to life. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest here. I mean. One of my major setbacks after leaving Sundowns was the agent that I worked with at the time. No. Tulani Tuswa was my agent during my time at Sundowns. A very good guy. May his soul rest in peace. It was an agent that I worked with in Cape Town during the off season. A lot of promises were made to me. Cape Town City was thrown in my face to say, look, Cape Town City, this is where we'll get you at the end of the season. And June, July went by. Phone calls, 150 phone calls I've been trying to make to an agent. This was Aubrey Ngoma's agent at the time as well. I couldn't get through to him. And this guy had represented Lila K, Aubrey Ngoma, a Pirates player as well, I think Kabelo Dlamini as well. And unfortunately I couldn't get hold of him for 2 months. And at the end of this, when the season started, I asked the individual, what is happening? I can't carry on like this. What are you doing with me? This is my career. And he unfortunately, we just terminated at the end. And I went into that season without the club. And I would say also that was a pivotal moment and one of the reasons as to why I struggled to find a club 12 months after that. So, like I said, it's just one of many agent stories in this country, but something I didn't expect coming from an individual who represented, players at the big clubs. Yeah. So, big disappointment in that individual, and like I said, I won't mention his name, but yeah, he knows who he is. Yeah. Yeah, look, my story at Kaizer Chiefs, I always say was a good story in my books. Okay, firstly, I need to say that I'm grateful to Kaizer Chiefs for giving me an opportunity to play and give me a platform, and more importantly, Arthur Zwane for giving me a platform to be able to play at the level. At that level and be able to be at Kaizer Chiefs and train with the first team and be seen by Steve Kompela and the group that we played in with Gezana, Blom, Mshini, me, Tsiki. It was probably, I would say, over the last 10-20 years, it was one of the best groups at Kaizer Chiefs. I think we were beating Steve Kompela's team at the time in training. I mean, we used to jump over the road and go and play against Steve's team with Lorenzo, Godinho and Cardoso and Pule X-Teen at the time, all of them. We used to beat them 7-2 in training sometimes. That's how we knew we were, levels ahead. So again, I'm going to say I'm very grateful to Arthur Zwane for giving me that opportunity, because when he found me at Nike Center in 2015, I was having a very tough time at Supersport United under Gaetano Tembo in the MDC team at that time. And he gave me an opportunity that I'm truly grateful for, and that's why I'll always have the utmost respect for that guy. He is one of the hardest workers and the most underrated coach in this country. He instilled a mentality in me that I will carry for life. The hunger that I have now for life, the hunger and desire I have for success and for myself comes from that guy and what he did. He challenged me every single day. Every day he challenged me. He would be on my neck every day, not play me certain games just to prove a point. But he knew how to get that hunger in me. So returning back to Kaizer Chiefs, I came there as an academy product. I came there as an academy player. Started training with the first team. I had a really successful season there, and I wasn't under contract. I didn't earn a single cent from Kaizer Chiefs, and I think people don't understand that, and I think that's probably what will make the headlines, is that I never earned a single cent from Chiefs. And I'll tell you now, I came in there as a 17-year-old looking for an opportunity. I got the opportunity, performed, played on TV, started training with the first team, and I was grateful for that opportunity. In my final season there, I had a Nike deal, which was quite strange, or maybe it's a foreshadowing of something, but I already had a Nike deal without even having a Kaizer Chiefs contract, and there was something wrong with that. Usually the order would be you would get the player contract and then a commercial deal after that, and that also was difficult for Chiefs to understand as well. I was called in for meetings as well for them to understand, how do I have commercial deals but I don't even have a contract with the club. And there was a point, I'll be honest with you guys, there was a point where they believed that commercial deal came only because of them. You understand? And yes, Kaizer Chiefs is the biggest club in the country. I understand playing for the club is big, but I also had to find a way for myself, to expand outside of football, especially during that time. So in my final season there, I don't know if you guys remember, it was me, Given Tibedi and Itumuleng Shopane. At the time, we went to the PSL Awards with the Mshini as well. In that final season, we won the Multi-Choice Diski Shield in that season. We performed, and at the end of the season, there were talks about the contract. There were talks, we're going to offer Tristan a contract. This time I went to London, came back with Nike, did everything. And at the end of the season, no contract was offered to me. And I said this in a previous interview too, the only club in the country that offered me a contract was Mamelodi Sundowns. And I get a lot of flack for that move, especially when I left Chiefs to Sundowns. People always say, you left because of this, you left because of that, you left. But I'll tell you now that Sundowns was the only club that gave me a contract. They were the only one who said, we want you at our club. I could have stayed at Chiefs for another season and, played on basically for free. I could have played for free and seen where that would have taken me. But I saw it as a way of, they appreciate me. Sundowns looked at it and said, okay, this boy has talent, we want to contract him, Funny story, the Sundowns contract was taken to Naturena.
By who?
By my representative at the time, to say that this is what has been offered to you, or been offered to Tristan, and Tristan would like to stay at Chiefs. And the contract said, you can go. So I took that as just a thing of, okay, I'm not needed here, I'm going to go to somewhere where I'm needed, So that was why I took the decision to leave to Mamelodi Sundowns. And I know people always talk about the Sundowns, the Chiefs Sundowns move. I'm not the only player where people talk about that move, but I hope this gives you better understanding as to why I left. Chiefs will always be a special place in my heart, and I'm grateful for the platform and opportunity that they gave me. But again, Sundowns was the only club to commit to me. Yeah. Look, let's break it down. Other clubs, Sundowns, get paid.
In the DDC.
Let's talk about DDC, MDC at that time. Orlando Pirates players get paid. There were players in my team getting some sort of stipend. But there were also certain individuals, including myself, not getting anything.
Why? Was there
I do not know.
level?
I can't tell you. I can't tell you. I can't tell you. It's a funny feeling to know that certain players were getting paid and you weren't. I don't know if it's a thing of talent or if it was a thing of they looked at certain players as to these are the players that will progress into the first team or not. I would think that after the season that I had in 2018 that I would have received a contract, or something. Like I said, I came in there as an academy product. Arthur Zwane was the guy who brought me in, but I'll be honest, yes, Chiefs provided, food after games and these kind of things. I was traveling with our fitness trainer at the time, Jamie. But I never received a salary from Kaizer Chiefs. I never received a stipend from Kaizer Chiefs for the years that I was there, bro. I'll be honest, I didn't have an agent at that time. It was me. I was looking after myself. Obviously, I'm blessed to have my father in my life as well. He would obviously, take care of me. But I don't know what it is, man. Maybe it was the fact that I was just grateful for the opportunity to be at Chiefs. But still, I was playing there. You're a professional still. You're playing in a professional league. I don't know what it is, but there were never ever talks about a contract, ever. And I hope things have changed at Naturena now for these younger boys coming through. I see they just won the DDC now. So I hope things are different for them because it was difficult for us, finding a way to get to training, having to ask for favors, all for the hopes and dreams of being able to play for Kaizer Chiefs first team. And I would hope that I brought a lot of joy to Kaizer Chiefs MDC fans at the time. So, like I said, I can't give you the answer, but all I know is I just never had a contract with Kaizer Chiefs, and I wasn't paid while I was there. But I did receive opportunities, from playing for the club. Yeah. those conversations did happen. You know, those conversations did happen, especially in the last year. I would say coming there as a junior, it's a bit different. But when I matured and developed into the DDC team and started training with the first teams, those conversations happened. You know, like I said, I sat in meetings asking, you know, these guys, you know, I need a way, you know, I need an opportunity, you know, please take care of me, you know, in terms of that. You know, I can understand if I was staying at Naturena or things like that. There were players staying at Naturena at the time, but I wasn't staying there. I was playing week in, week out. It wasn't like I'm just some trialist or whatever. I was playing week in, week out. So those conversations did happen, especially before I left. And like I said, there was no result to the end of that, no result. I was very disappointed in Kaizer Chiefs at that time. Because I know I played for the badge there, you know, and I don't know if sometimes playing for the badge is always a good thing sometimes.
It's worth it.
It's worth it, yeah.
First, what was life like at Sundowns?
Well, life at Sundowns was a good challenge. I loved it. When I moved to Sundowns, you know, it felt good to go to a club where you were appreciated, where you were valued. You know, I think that's Sundowns' secret sauce, is that Sundowns appreciate their players. You know, you never hear of, you know, there were players that played in my year at Chiefs. They still play there now. There were all kinds of articles coming out about them and their problems with the club and all of that. You don't find that at Sundowns. Patrice takes care of his players, you know, and Sopi now is a young guy who understands players, understands what players need. You know, you don't hear of that. So when I came into Sundowns, there was a system in place, and that system was to take care of the players. You know, it felt good, like in 2018 as a 21-year-old coming in, and when I signed my contract, Coach Pizzo was there.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know, Coach Pizzo was there, and for me that was a statement to say, this is a serious club. I mean, to bring me as a 21-year-old and the head coach is here, and he's involved in my signing, that felt good. You know, I felt appreciated, especially coming from a place where maybe I didn't feel as appreciated, you know. So, like I said, life was good. Obviously, for me, my time at Sundowns didn't go the way I wanted it to. I came in there, first 6 months I was with the reserve team, did well. At that time, George Lebise was there, Lucky Mohome. They were obviously from the first team coming down to play with us. Game time under David Notwane, things were good, progressing, and all I wanted was the opportunity with the team, you know, first team. But let's look at that first team. Just came off of CAF win, you know. It was Nascimento. Who else was there at the time? Wayne Orange, Langaman, yeah, you know, Mshishi, Villa. Very, very strong team. That is a star-studded team, you know. So for us as a youngster, that was a very difficult team to break into, you know. So for me, the most game time I was going to get was playing, you know, under David in the DDC team. And then in the second season, I was sent out on loan to TS Sporting in Mpumalanga. That was also a true experience of South African football politics.